Wait until you see what I turned Dollar Tree heart decor into. Hi, I'm Katie from Lady Red Crafting, and today I'm creating beautiful Valentine decor that's budget-friendly and high-end looking. So let's get crafting. This craft starts out with one of these wood planks from the Dollar Tree. They're $3 at my Dollar Tree. And one of these hearts from the Dollar Tree, and I still have them at $1.25, but they may be $1.50 at your Dollar Tree. So I'm going to take my Waverly Antique Wax and I'm going to stain my board. And if you haven't done this before, all I do is I paint some of this wax onto my board, and using a baby wipe, I go ahead and wipe everything clean. Now go ahead and set that aside and grab your heart. We're going to flip this heart over, and I'm going to just take a screwdriver here and remove the hook from the heart. We're not going to be using this hook for this craft, so I am going to save this for a future craft. Now let's put these two pieces together. I'm flipping over my heart, and I'm going to grab my Quick and Thick Tight Bond glue. And we're going to use this on the heart on the back side, and this is going to help adhere it to our board. I'm also going to be using a little bit of hot glue for that quick, immediate hold. Now all we need to do is take that heart and center it right over the top of our board. And then I'm just going to set this down and press down for a few minutes to make sure it adheres. Now, if you really wanted to, you could stop here, but I am going to take this to another level. And I have this lace that I had in my stash, and I had gotten it from Dollar Tree a few years back. And I'm going to take that lace and I'm going to wrap the heart with the lace. So I'm just laying that lace over the top of my board, and then I'm going to take it to the back side of this board, and we're going to go ahead and just hot glue that right into place. And to be sure I don't burn myself, I am using a little makeup applicator. This is a fun little trick that I can't remember where I saw it, but it was one of the other crafters I saw this from. And you just use this on your hot glue, and if you get any hot glue on the makeup applicator, since it's silicone, it will just peel right off. So we're not going to just stop with the lace. I did grab a roll of twine, and now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use that twine, and I'm going to wrap that around our piece. I'm starting out by just tying a knot on the back side. Then I will take that twine and wrap it around my piece until I'm satisfied with the look. So I was happy with the twine, but I wanted that center piece of twine to just kind of pinch in the center. So what I did was I actually took that twine while it was still wrapping around, and I'm going to go ahead and just kind of weave it underneath to make it a little point in the center. So I'm not really trying to mess up what I did with my wrapping. I'm just trying to get like a center fold in the center of our heart. Now, once I have that in place, I'm going to take it to the back side and just tie that twine to the other twine on the back side of the piece. Now let's flip our piece over and take a look. Now we could just leave it like this, but I did want to add a little bow right in that center of the twine. So I'm taking a little bit of hot glue, and I'm going to attach this twine bow that I made earlier and attach it right to the center. And now my piece is done, and I absolutely love how this turned out. This is a very inexpensive piece that's really beginner friendly that you can put out for decorations for Valentine's Day, and it can go into the spring with these neutral colors. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. And if you wanted to add more color to this piece, you could just change out the twine or the ribbon in the center, or paint the heart. There's all sorts of different things you can do to change this up for your style. Here's a fun way to take a Dollar Tree heart, a wood heart that I found at Walmart, and make a beautiful hanger. We're going to start out by taking these napkins. I had these in my stash, but I did get these at Home Goods. And I really like the neutral pattern on the backing of this, so that is why I'm using it. So for this craft, I am going to need 2 of these napkins since these are the smaller cocktail napkins. If you had the larger luncheon size napkins, you would probably only need 1. So what I'm doing here is I'm just going to remove the back 2 layers from this napkin. And if you need help getting that back layer removed, I just use a little piece of painter's tape, and that helps me remove that back layer. So here's a quick side-by-side. If you put the napkin over the piece of wood, it looks really nice, but has a slightly muted look. If you put it over the top of something that's white, it gives it more of a sharp, bright look. For this piece, I wanted that more softer look, so I decided to just go straight onto the wood. Using my matte Mod Podge, I'm going to paint the bottom 2 quadrants of this piece of wood. And once that Mod Podge has completely dried, I'm going to take my napkin, I'm going to position it over the top of that area of the heart. Now I'm going to grab a piece of parchment paper and layer that on top of my napkin. And using my hot iron, I'm going to go ahead and iron this napkin into place. Now let's remove that piece of parchment paper, and I'm going to grab my zip sander. And using my zip sander, I'm going to sand in a downward motion around the napkin on the outside perimeter of the heart. Now the area that's right at the top of the heart, where it's not attached to the wood, I'm going to actually use a razor blade, and I'm going to use that razor blade and I'm just going to slice that napkin off right on the line of that little wood piece that's in this heart. And now that we have that first napkin removed, I did take that razor blade and I'm going to slice the line that's on the bottom part of the quadrant of the heart. This is just going to remove a little bit of that napkin so that we can have everything match up when we're done. Next, I grabbed some folk art parchment colored paint, and I'm going to take a very small brush and I'm going to paint that line on the wood. And that just gives just a little bit more definition to our heart. Now to finish the rest of the heart, we're going to repeat the same steps that we did earlier, taking our Mod Podge and painting our piece of wood, letting it dry, then adding our piece of napkin. Once we've added our napkin, we're going to take a piece of parchment paper and layer that on top. Now grab your hot iron and iron everything into place. Next, we're going to go ahead and grab our sander, and we're going to zip sand the outside edge by sanding in a downward motion. And now that our outside perimeter of our heart is done, we do need to remove that excess napkin there in the center. And I'm going to go back to using that razor blade, and we're just going to use that razor blade and just cut that napkin off right on the line of that heart. Now all we have left to do is go ahead and paint that line between the 2 sides of the heart so that they match the other line. Now to seal everything in, I'm going to grab my Rust-Oleum matte clear enamel. I'll take this outside and seal the heart. Now that our front of our heart is sealed and ready to go, I'm going to flip this heart over and I'm going to remove any of that backing on the back for hanging it in the store. Next, once I've removed those staples, I'm going to take this beautiful ribbon. I did get this on Amazon, so I'll put a link for it down in my description box below. And I'm going to hot glue that ribbon onto the back to make a hanger. And now that we have our hanger in place, let's flip our heart over and put on our final touches. To attach our gray wood heart, I'm going to be using Titebond Quick and Thick Glue and a little bit of hot glue. I'm going to add the Titebond right to the center of the larger heart, and then I'll take my hot glue and add a few dots of hot glue to the center as well. You don't want the glues to overlap. That hot glue is going to give that quick, immediate hold, but that Titebond glue is going to give a really nice solid hold for a long time on our piece. Now to attach our beautiful pink bow, I'm going to take the hot glue and add a little bit of hot glue to the back side of our bow, and then I'm going to place it right on the top of our wood heart. Now our beautiful heart hanger is ready to display. I just love how this piece turns out. It's such a fun way to use those little hearts from the Dollar Tree and elevating it to a whole new level. Let me know what you think about this down in the comments below. And I'd love to hear from you guys. Do you have something that you've always wanted to decoupage but didn't know how to do it? Or wanted to see somebody try it first? Well, this is your chance. Let me know down in the comments below, and I will do my best to try to incorporate as many as I can in my upcoming videos. Thank you for watching. Get crafty with Lady Red's monthly newsletter. Tips behind the scenes and exclusive giveaways. Subscribe now in the description box below. It's free, so what do you have to lose? Thanks! I just love these hearts from the Dollar Tree. They are so much fun to craft with. For this project, we're going to be using one of these frames from the Dollar Tree and a heart. On this frame, I'm going to just take the backing out on this. We are going to use this for our sign. We'll keep the hanger the way it is, and then once I take this backing out, I'm going to take the little string that's there, that twine and the little hooks, and we're going to take that off of our sign. I am not going to use this for this piece, but I did save those little clips for a future craft. And now that our frame has been deconstructed, I'm going to take that center piece and we're going to start making our sign. Now, using my Cricut Joy, I'm going to cut out a little phrase that says, "Love lives here." I just used one of the templates that I found in the Cricut design space to make this an easy craft. Now, once we have our decal transferred over on our transfer tape, I'm going to take that back over to our sign. And you can see with this transfer tape, this looks beautiful. Love lives here. And I used white permanent vinyl for this. Now, I'm going to make sure that I have room to add that fun heart from the Dollar Tree before I add this to my sign. So I put the heart on top just to make sure I have the right place to put this sign. Next, I'm going to go ahead and lay that piece of vinyl right on top of our sign. Now, I placed this exactly where I wanted it, but one thing that I made a mistake on is when I transferred this over with the transfer tape, my transfer tape was stickier than I thought it would be. And it did end up pulling up some of that backing on this piece. So instead of scrapping this project and starting over, I embraced the rough edges and I'm going to go with more of a rustic look for this piece and just add to it. To do this, I'm taking that transfer tape and I'm just going to apply it to the backing. And then I'm just going to pull that transfer tape off and let it pull a little bit of that backing off in different spots. I'm just letting it do its thing and I'm just going to continue adding that transfer tape and just pulling back, and it's just going to basically give a nice little rustic look to this piece. Now, once we are satisfied with our backing, I'm going to come back in with that heart and add this heart to the piece. To do this, I am going to be using my Quick and Thick glue and some hot glue to add this to the piece. And the Quick and Thick glue is going to give us a really nice hold for that heart because it is going to be a little off balanced on that piece, but that hot glue is going to give us that immediate bond so we don't have to worry about it while it's drying. Now all we need to do is add back our frame. So I'm going to go ahead and add the frame to the front, flip this over, and then you should just be able to fold down the tabs to make sure everything stays into place. We'll reuse the hanger that this frame came with. I think that really ties in with the rustic look. And I just love how this piece turns out. This Love Lives Here sign is perfect for the season and can transition into the spring. And if you enjoyed this craft, don't forget to hit that like or subscribe button. Thank you! So earlier this month, I created this fun flower decor piece. Well, I had set that down in my craft room next to this heart, and I fell in love with putting these two pieces together. So this is such a simple little thing to do. You can use this flower decor piece by itself, but what I like about this little heart is you can add it to the front and it gives it a finished, polished look. And it's something that I can just tape onto the back of this piece. And then after Valentine's Day, I can just leave this flower piece up all by itself, or I can add another center piece to add to this decor piece. And wow, I just love how this looks. This is such a fun piece. If you'd like to learn how to make the flower decor piece, just click on the link above here and it'll take you over to that video. I hope these Valentine decor ideas showed you that crafting doesn't have to be expensive to be beautiful. Take your time to enjoy the process and make it your own. Thank you for crafting alongside me today, and until next time, remember, craft more, stress less.